Hello, my name is Antonio Papano. I'm a patron of the Keyboard Charitable Trust. I was born in Britain. I've lived and studied in America, and now divide my time mostly as music director of the Royal Opera House Covent Garden here in London and the Santa Cecilia Orchestra and Chorus in Rome. Music has no borders, and the Keyboard Trust neither. Over its long history, it has presented young concert pianists of 34 different nationalities, offering them performing opportunities internationally and now globally by means of these internet broadcasts. All are ready to grace the great concert halls. I now invite you to hear them in conversation and in concert. Please remember their names, then ask the Keyboard Trust to send them to perform where you are. Then you too will have helped to accomplish our true mission. Thank you very much.
I'm Christopher Axworthy, one of the artistic directors of the Keyboard Trust. And it's a great pleasure today to present Sasha Grynyuk. We're going to have a discussion, he is going to talk, about some experiences that he's had recently. He's a concert pianist, he's an alumni of the Keyboard Trust, he's already played for us our prize-winning concert at the Wigmore Hall. And recently he's been playing, he played for a ballet in Sadler's Wells, Armand et Marguerite, which was by Frederick Ashton. It was written for Margot Fontaine and Nureyev, and it's based on the Liszt Sonata. So it would be interesting to know from him, does he have to play the Liszt Sonata in a different way? Does he have to adapt to the ballet? He's going to talk about that. And he's also found the piano score of New Babylon, a film score which was written by Shostakovich, and he's performed it recently in London. 1.5 hours of performance, synchronizing with the film, and it's not the usual experience of a concert pianist, but it's one that might very well be added to the normal experience of playing concerts and playing concertos and chamber music. And I think very interesting to hear what Sasha has to say. So here we are. Thank you. So here we are in Alex Ullman's studio in Kew, and I'm here with Sasha Grynyuk. And the interesting thing that both of you are going off next week to play in the Michelangelo Festival in Rabi in Italy. And even more interesting is the work that you've been doing with Noretta Conci, who's the founder of the Keyboard Trust, who was the assistant to Michelangelo for many, many years. And she's often spoken to me about the fingering and about the pedaling and how much does she allow you to use the soft pedal in a way, or I know the sustaining pedal very little, but the soft pedal.
Soft pedal, I think soft pedal is used mostly in the 20th century music when it actually appeared, you know. But
Perlmutter used to play. I know you're going to play the Ravel Valse Noble Sentimentale, and Ravel studied the works. He played them to Ravel. He said he was never a pupil of Ravel's. He was very clear about that. That Ravel was probably such a very friendly person, as Fauré obviously was, and so he felt as though he paid for his lessons. He played to Ravel, but he did something that Perlmutter often used. He used to play loudly with the soft pedal on.
Ravel.
Because it gave a very particular French nasal sound. You see, there is a sound to be developed there as well. Not the soft pedal, you only play softly. He and Claudio Rao too used to play with the soft pedal down and play loudly, and it produced a different sound, a different colour.
But of course depends on the piano, because
Yes.
how you regulate the left pedal, sometimes you wouldn't almost feel the difference. And I think it does, exactly, it gives something, but it of course removes perhaps the richness of subtlety of the sound.
Yeah, because you're playing on two notes, two strings instead of three.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So possibility for the color is less.
And what about the middle pedal then? Did Michelangelo ever use? Does Noretta talk about the middle pedal?
No, not really.
In Debussy, I know you've done a lot of Debussy, but to hold on to the notes, should you hold them on in a clean way, or is that part of holding on to the notes?
If there is the passage that it works on, then why not? You know. But I don't think there are rules. I don't think there are shortcuts.
Yeah.
Then none of such things which people dream of, that if they come against someone great, that person is going to give them some secrets. There are no secrets as such. No. Except for the fact that there is no secrets.
Yeah. No, well, the worst thing I think is to set down rules. I mean,
yes,
there are no rules in art. There cannot be rules.
Well, I mean, the rules kind of written in the score. So the score for you, the music of Beethoven, what he wrote down in a certain way, it is a rule.
But that's very interesting too. So the rules, which rule do you follow? Which rule book do you follow? Which edition are you using, for example, for the Beethoven? I know there's the new Bayreuther edition, but there are many, many editions. There's Schnabel edition, there's the Trophy edition, there's even the Liszt edition.
It's nice to see different editions, actually.
Yes.
It is nice, because sometimes there would be discrepancies between the first edition and the original manuscript and something.
Do you follow all that? Do you try to?
I'm not completely involved in that, like some people that they know exactly what is what in
which do you use? Which edition? Because
right now
I used to say he used to use a copy, and he knew where the coffee mark was on the copy. So which is the one that has the coffee mark on?
I use Henley because that's what I got a few years ago, and
don't we all? Yeah, of course we do. Yeah.
But I haven't seen New Bern Rider. I'm sure it's very good, and
it's supposed to be. The nearest, because the man that what was it, Jonathan Del Mar, he said that he looked into it, and a lot of the original things of Beethoven are have been microcopied, microfilm. So microfilm. So everyone looked at this microfilm, and in one of the pieces, they saw a dot in the left hand. They said it can't be a staccato, and they thought, what does it mean? How do we interpret that? There was a big discussion about how we do. It turned out when he saw the original, there was a hole in the manuscript. You've seen all these sort of silly things that come up that have led to discussions about musicologists and so on, who don't really. A musicologist is something different from an artist who is creating the music. That is someone that's looking historically at the. It's a completely different.
Well, if coming back to my lessons with Noretta, that's maybe exactly one of the things that she's conveying in her teaching, is that there is a balance between things, you know, and there is the right attitude to the score, and there is the right attitude to what composer wrote, and to the instrument itself with what it can give, including using or not using the left pedal. But yet there is this subtle balance, and if you fall into one of the sides, there's a danger, you know, of becoming too dogmatic or too specific in this or that direction.
And the long Beethoven pedals, then, how does that? Do you literally do what Beethoven says, or do you just
almost like I remember, for example, in Cadenza in the second concerto. I used, for not all of it, like for some phrasing, I would change it a bit, because of course the Beethoven piano would be also a bit different. So not necessarily he would have all those overtones sounding and opening up. But for example, in the 101 there is a nice pedal in the second movement, long pedal, and I'm using it almost exactly as Beethoven.
Can you show us?
One can manage to hear not too much dissonant, you know, and keep it, of course, balancing it with the right dynamics and right tempo. Then why not? It makes this beautiful.
No, it reminds me of a Haydn sonata that has a similar thing.
Really?
The C major sonata has the same thing with the pedal, which is the same. It's almost like a mechanical music box effect.
Right.
You know, that sort of effect. It's really quite magical. And
so
especially
it's like this one, like this one in Brahms and the variations. There's also no pedal, but one would like to have a pedal, right?
And you're playing that as well, aren't you? In the Michelangelo Festival,
So in every composer's, of course, mind, one imagines that there would be those beautiful sounds.
This is the similar sound to what you were creating in the Beethoven. In the end, the effect is the same, which can be done on the piano. That's all very interesting. Now, I think what we want to do is for you to play something. What would you like to play?
Shall I play some waltzes by Ravel?
I think it would be nice.
There are few notes that sound already almost like Ravel with his seconds, you know.
Oh, this is because Alex has been practicing the Rachmaninoff third piano concerto, so the notes have slightly gone out of.
But would work fine for Ravel.
Doesn't matter. It's a lovely piano, so we're very happy to be here. Very grateful to Alex.
It's fantastic.
beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, great. But Ravel was very much inspired by Liszt, his treatment of the piano. Not so much in this piece, but certainly in Gaspard la Nuit and other pieces as well. And it's interesting that you reminded me that you've just been playing the Liszt sonata in a ballet company in the Settlers Wells for a ballet performance. And this piano now here, Alex Ullman's piano, has been used because Alex is just about to record the Liszt sonata. He's playing it in the same festival that you're playing in, which is to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Michelangelo. And Michelangelo, the director will be able to tell us, I don't think he ever played the Liszt sonata. I've never heard of any performance of him playing the Liszt sonata. His repertoire was very much, we know all the pieces that he did, and it stayed at that repertoire. But the Liszt sonata, when you played it for the ballet company, because I know you did a Shostakovich thing recently, a couple of years ago. In fact, I was turning pages for it.
Yes.
About an hour and a half of very complicated music, which you had to play with the film being shown at the same time. So you had to, in some way, synchronize your piano playing to the film. Whereas the Liszt sonata, did you have to synchronize to the dancers, or did they just have to dance to what you were doing? Was there a difference, or was it the same sort of approach? It wasn't just playing a soloist playing and with his fantasy being free. You were, in a way, kept with a certain boundary, A, by the film, or B, by the ballet performance.
Well, by the film, of course, it was very grey boundary. The film is on the screen. You have to be sometimes.
Did you have to synchronize it? Literally synchronize the music? Did you have numbers? Was there someone actually?
I didn't have. I just sort of had to learn it to learn the film well, to know the film well, and sometimes the explosion would actually be at the piano.
Yes.
While on the screen, so sometimes it would have to be a second perfect.
But was the music so perfectly written that it did fit in with what was on the film?
Yes, because I think Shostakovich had film with him when he wrote it. So in fact, it does make sense.
What was the film? I forget now.
It was New Babylon.
Oh, that's right.
It
yes,
still is an ongoing project, so it's very, very interesting avant-garde.
Yes.
Avant-garde, sort of Russian avant-garde film, one of the first ones.
Was it? It was orchestrated as well, I think.
Later it was orchestrated, but the original version that first was presented was the piano version.
Yeah.
So and that was very interesting work, just to see how the composer.
So you had to have yourself a look and see whether the music you were playing coincided with what was going on the screen.
Exactly. No, I had a little screen here.
Oh, you did. Yes.
While I was playing, I could see exactly what was going on and.
But with the ballet dancers and the Liszt sonata, did you have a little screen or something?
I also had a little screen.
You did?
I also had a little screen just in case something happens, someone falls or
it was just
like
you,
that.
just the piano. It was literally
just
the Liszt
the piano,
sonata. Yeah,
just the piano.
Yeah. And
that's
how many dancers?
Well, quite a lot at some point, maybe
really?
up to 10 people, because it was Frederick Ashton.
It was his. What was it? Was it called the Liszt sonata, or was it called?
Marguerite and Armand.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So
of course. That's what it was called. I see. I didn't know that. Yeah, of course.
And it was, of course, it had certain boundaries. I couldn't just do whatever I liked, but it was nearly what I would do anyway.
Yes.
In most places, and we always have some boundaries. You're only free then. If you want to be completely free, you have to compose your own piece, and you have to. Was
it already in your repertoire? Had you learnt it specially?
I learned it actually especially for that. But then after that, I've already managed to play it in a concert, and I'm very happy that I acquired this great work. One of the pinnacles. One of the pinnacles of piano repertoire.
Another pinnacle of the piano is the one that you're going to play, which is the Brahms Handel variations as well.
Oh, yes.
These are all standard works. They are the works that if one wants to be for aspiring pianist, they have to tackle at some stage, together with the Wanderer Fantasy by Schubert, 32 variations in C minor by Beethoven, which apparently Beethoven hated.
Really?
Yes, because they are almost like exercises. Whereas the Brahms Handel, although they are like exercises, they're completely concealed in this powerful vision of him arriving at the final triumphant fugue. And how do you tackle that? Do you try and is there a variation in tempo, or do you try and keep a constant tempo, like Bach in the Gombo variations? There is a constant tempo which varies slightly but very slightly.
In Brahms, there are certain indications when he wants it a bit more flowing or not. So there are some discrepancies, but not most of all not the great ones.
No.
There are some places. In fact, I think Brahms, when he composed it before he performed it, he played it for Wagner, this set of variations.
Did he? Oh, yeah.
And also just some connection I just found in the program that Opus 101, the first movement, was the favorite movement of Beethoven for Wagner as well. That was his favorite.
Really? Well, Beethoven's favourite movement was Opus 28, the slow movement, the pastoral sonata, which is very similar to Opus 101, has the same pastoral feel to it.
But that opening that you talked about, that unusual...
Exactly, let's hear that. Can't we hear that? Would you like to play that?
Of course. So that was the favorite movement of Wagner.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's...
And I can kind of see it.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that at all. I'd love to hear you play that. They're wonderful, yeah. Beautiful. That's the first piece you're going to play, and this is going to be to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Michelangelo and the 250th of Beethoven.
Yes.
And what a beautiful way. Thank you very much. It's been very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher.